Hey Florida travelers, Chrissy here, and Silver Springs is probably one of the most stunning places that you can go kayaking in Central Florida. In this video, I'm going to go over all of the details and why you're going to want to head up to Silver Springs during your Florida vacation. Let's get into it. Silver Springs is located just outside of Ocala, Florida, which is about an hour and a half north of the major theme parks in Orlando. This beautiful park is open 7 days a week and all year round, including the holidays, from 8 a.m. to sundown. The cost of admission into Silver Springs is only $2, and kids under 6 are free. There are a number of things that you can do in Silver Springs, and one of the most popular is to take a glass bottom boat tour. These world famous glass bottom boats have been a part of Silver Springs history since the 1870s and gives you an amazing underwater view of several of the springs throughout the park. There are 2 tours that you can take, a 30-minute tour and an extended 1.5-hour tour that is available on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 11, 1, and 3 p.m. If you are interested in doing the extended tour, there are limited spots available, so I recommend that you reserve them online before arriving. Also, you do have to make sure that you are at the park at least 15 minutes before the boat departs. If you don't want to be stuck to a schedule, you can always do the 30-minute tour, which is what I did. For the 30-minute tour, you don't have to make any reservations, and they run several boats throughout the hour. So the wait is only around 10 minutes or so for the next one. If you're lucky, you'll get an awesome captain like we did named Bill, who is not only informative but entertaining as he toured us around the many spring heads in the area. Throughout the tour, Bill pointed out several turtles and fish as he took us from spring to spring. The star of the entire tour was definitely the Mammoth Spring, which is the main spring that feeds the river. This spring is the largest limestone artesian spring formation in the world, and it releases enough water to fill 4 Olympic-sized pools in 1 hour. There are many things that have been found at the bottom of the Mammoth Spring, including seashells as well as authentic mammoth bones. By the way, if you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you would like to get more ideas like this to do during your Florida vacation. I release a new video every week, and the best way to see them is by subscribing. If you want to spend even more time on the water, there are several miles for kayaking and canoeing. You can rent the kayaks and canoes either hourly or for the entire day. If you do choose the all-day journey, allow for at least 3 to 4 hours to complete it. And you have to make sure that you arrive at least by noon to ensure that you have enough time to make the trip. There is return transport available that you can get for an additional fee. I have to say that the water here in Crystal Springs is absolutely beautiful, and probably some of the clearest spring water that I have ever seen. It's so clear that as you're kayaking, you can see all the fish and turtles as they swim underneath you, which was so cool. If you get to the spring as they opened like we did, you'll almost have the entire river to yourself, so it's a great way to avoid the crowd. As the day goes on, the river tends to get more and more crowded, so if you're new to kayaking and would like to have more room to paddle, I highly suggest getting to the springs as early as possible. The other thing that I really loved about this spring is that if you choose a 2-hour rental, it's the perfect amount of time to make the round around Ross Allen Island and be able to paddle down the Fort King paddle trail. This paddle trail is absolutely stunning, and it makes you feel like you're almost being transported to a different world. One of my other favorite parts about kayaking in Silver Springs is that there's a family of manatee that call these springs home, and we were lucky enough to be able to see them as we were traveling back up the river. And just look at how absolutely beautiful they are. I just love manatees, and it's so nice to be able to see them out in nature. In addition to the glass bottom boat tours and paddling down the river, there are several miles of trails that you can hike through. The closest one to the entrance of the park is going to be Ross Allen Boardwalk that takes you all around Ross Allen Island. If you don't already know, there's also wild monkeys that roam the trees in Silver Springs, and we walked around the boardwalk trying to find them while we were there, but we didn't see any of them. Our tour guide on the glass bottom boat tour told us that they tend to move farther down the river when a storm comes through, and since a storm just came through the day before, they were nowhere to be seen. So either way, the boardwalk is still an incredibly beautiful walk through the island, and I loved the parts that walked along the river. If the boardwalk is just not enough hiking for you, there are several other miles of trails that you can walk through, like the Half Mile Creek Trail that starts near Twin Oaks, which is an event center for the Springs. This trail is nicely covered and well maintained, which made it an easy walk through to dry off after paddling. If you're looking for another great place to kayak in Central Florida, make sure to check out my video about kayaking down the Wekiwa River that just popped up on the screen. Until next time, everyone, I hope you have an amazing day and go out and enjoy some Florida sunshine.